Mara stood at the edge of the diner, fingers knotted together, counting the cracks in the tile to keep from shaking. The smell of fried eggs and fresh bread made her stomach ache. Not for herself, she told herself, but for the two small faces waiting at home. It had been 3 days since the power went out. 2 since the cupboards went bare. 1 since she decided pride was a luxury she could no longer afford. The diner was busy, the lunchtime rush humming with clinking cutlery and casual laughter. A bell chimed as customers came and went, carrying warmth with them. Mara waited until the manager stepped from behind the counter. He was a broad man with a stiff collar and a look that said he measured people quickly and rarely kindly. "I'm sorry to bother you," she began, her voice low, respectful. "I'm not asking for money, just anything left over. For my children." The manager's eyes swept over her worn shoes, her frayed coat, the faint bruise of exhaustion under her eyes. His jaw tightened. "This isn't a charity," he snapped. "We don't give away food." "I understand," Mara said quickly. "I can come after closing. I can clean. I'll—" He cut her off with a sharp laugh that drew attention. "You'll leave. Now." A few heads turned. Someone coughed. The warmth in the room thinned. Mara swallowed. "Please. They're hungry." That was when his hand moved. Too fast, too rough. Grabbing her arm. A tray clattered as a server froze. The manager's voice rose, filling the diner. "I said get out. Don't make a scene." Pain flared up Mara's arm, but worse was the heat behind her eyes. She thought of her daughter's careful bravery, of her son pretending not to be hungry so his sister could eat first. She thought of how quiet the apartment had been that morning. "Let her go," someone said softly. The manager ignored it, tightening his grip. Chairs scraped as people shifted uncomfortably. No one stood, except at the back, where a group of bikers had been eating in silence. They were easy to notice now, heavy boots, road-worn jackets, hands scarred by miles and weather. They hadn't spoken much, just shared food and nods, the kind of people you assumed were trouble because they didn't need to prove anything. The biggest of them stood. He didn't rush. He didn't raise his voice. He just walked forward until the hum of the diner faded into a tense hush. "Friend," he said to the manager, calm as a steady road. "That's enough." The manager scoffed, eyes flicking to the leather patches. "Sit down. This doesn't concern you." The biker looked at Mara's arm, at her face, then back at the manager. "It does now." The manager shoved Mara away. She stumbled, catching herself on the counter. The sound, fear, shock, humiliation, broke something in the room, and that's when the bell chimed again, as more bikers entered, shaking off the cold, unaware of the moment they were stepping into. The diner felt smaller with the bikers standing. Not threatening, just present, like a wall you couldn't ignore. The biggest one raised a hand slightly, a signal. The others stayed quiet. Mara hugged herself, trembling. "I'm sorry," she whispered, to no one in particular. "I didn't mean—" "You didn't do anything wrong," said a woman biker, stepping beside her. Her voice was firm, gentle. "Not a thing." The manager blustered, words tumbling over each other about policy and loitering and calling the police. The biggest biker nodded. "Go ahead," he said. "We'll wait." But the police weren't needed. Because something shifted. A server set down a plate. "On the house," she said, eyes on Mara. Another followed, then another. Someone slid a napkin toward Mara with a quiet smile. A man at the counter stood. "I'll pay for whatever she needs." The manager's authority drained away in real time, replaced by the uncomfortable realization that rules without humanity don't hold when people decide to be human. The bikers pulled cash, not tossed but counted carefully, and placed it on the counter. "For the food," the big one said. "And for tomorrow." The manager's face reddened. He opened his mouth, then closed it. The room had decided. Mara stared at the plates, the kindness, the strangers who had become something else entirely. Tears came, unstoppable. "I don't know how to thank you." The woman biker squeezed her shoulder. "You already did," she said. "You asked." They packed the food carefully, making sure it would last. One of the bikers wrote down an address on a receipt. "Community pantry," he said. Open mornings. No questions. When they left, the bell chimed softer than before. As if it understood, Mara walked home with warm bags and a lighter heart. Her children met her at the door, eyes wide, hope blooming. That night, the apartment glowed with the simple magic of full bellies and laughter. Weeks later, the diner changed hands. Months later, Mara volunteered at the pantry, the ask now something she could answer for others. And somewhere down the highway, a group of bikers rode on, not looking for praise, just doing what they believed was right.